Maria Grazia. Thank you so much for joining us. Can I ask you what your relationship with craft is?
For me, craftsmanship is something very important. It's part of my background, and at the same time, I was so lucky to work in my life in two big maison couture. One is Valentino and now in Dior. So, and probably that's because I'm very interested in everything is about craftsmanship. And couture is very close with the idea of craftsmanship.
Which part of the design process is your favorite?
I don't have a specific part that I prefer more, but I remember very well also when I was super young and I started to work in fashion. My first appointment with craftsmanship was inside a supply that produces shoes, because at the initial I was accessory designer. And so I was fascinated, like inside the factory, to see all the process, all the people that worked at the product, and at the same time to try to realize my dream like a young designer. I remember that at the time I was obsessed to realize shoes embroidery that was not so frequently so used to make it. And they helped me, and I see the people that try to use the embroidery on the shoes. That fascinates me because it's a way that you can realize your dream only if you have very close relationship with the artisan.
Can you tell us one of your favorite memories with an artisan?
Probably this that I spoke before about these shoes is one of the most favorite because was the first. But after, when I went in India for my first time, that was probably the most important moment in my life, because I met these guys very young. This guy was the son of the owner of this little company in India. They invited me to see their atelier and started a relationship that I continue to have with them. And there I discovered all the different technique. I understood also the relationship between the technique between India and Italy. I was super fascinated, and I learned a lot.
What is the most challenging aspect of craft production today?
I think that sometimes we forgot how much craft is important, because in this time where everything is by video, by web, for a long time in fashion, the last 10 years, that we was more concentrated on image, probably we forgot what there is behind this image. Behind this image there is craft, and I think that we have to promote. Also, when I arrived in Dior, my first point was to realize with the PR team video that explained also in video what was the process to realize a beautiful clothes, a beautiful accessory, because we are not to forget that sometimes when the people look at an image, they don't reflect about what there is behind. Behind craft, there is our humanity. If we think the first thing that humanity did was to realize textile style. Penelope is something very important in our history. And when you go around the world, you can see the relationship, the link that there are between the different cultures. That's part of our history.
And can you describe the most rewarding part of the design process nowadays?
Well, I think that design is really a process. Probably now we understand more about also the value of this aspect, because with this pandemic crisis, everything became more and more difficult.
What is your prediction for the future of this industry, the future of craft?
I really believe that has a really great future, because I think in the world if we don't work well, we risk to lose this knowledge. But that's mean to lost in some way also part of our culture. So I think that on one side, Couture, and especially Couture, has to support this little supply around the world, this specific atelier. In the other side, I think that the people in the future appreciate this idea of uniqueness, this idea of that there is behind this aspect that tells so much about people, about culture, about history.
And what would be your piece of advice for the younger generation who wants to go into craft?
I think that we have to support them and also to invite them to believe in it. I think there is a young generation that is very open to discover this incredible world because it's something that is more personal. And also because I think there is something that is very creative. I don't believe that the creativity is only the designer that realizes the sketch and the idea, but part of the creativity, a big part of the creativity is also the person that realizes with their hand the idea. So it's really a teamwork between the designer and also the side that is the craftsmanship, the atelier, the premiere, the embroidery people. All together we realize something new.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for chatting to us. I can't wait to watch the video and to see what you have in store for us.
Thank you. Happy to see you again.
Thank you so much.